when you talk about, getting lost in time when you're doing stuff with technology, I find myself, if I'm in the restroom and I have my phone, I'll easily spend 30 minutes just sitting there on my phone. But if I don't have my phone, I'll be in and out within like 5 minutes.
So the bathroom has become your place of worship to your to your smartphone.
To my phone. Yeah. As odd as that sounds. Yeah.
Your bathroom is now the sanctuary to your smartphone. Do you have like a little pedestal to put your smartphone on?
No.
Okay.
It's my hands.
No, your hands are just a little pedestal.
Yes.
I met Josh through Aaron, actually, because those two had been friends since, what, high school? Younger?
I mean,
Middle school, I think. I think we originally met through church.
well, I say, yeah, we knew each other at church. I mean, since kindergarten,
Yes,
for sure.
yes,
'Cause,
yes.
well, you went to school with me in kindergarten, then left. Like, I don't know, man. You just left.
I left. I just
You packed your bags and went on the journey.
Yeah.
Thought you were Bilbo Baggins.
Thought he was about the height.
Oh, one of these days we'll have Mr. Bilbo Baggins back with us. Sooner rather than later, if we could get him on to answer a text message, but right, like Josh before him, he'll be like, "Well, why didn't you contact me?" Because we did. And
You just never looked at your phone.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, I'm going to guess he could potentially even just be on Discord right now. Wait, why would he be on Discord, though? He wouldn't be on Discord unless he's talking to me.
What if he's talking to a AI version of you?
Well, I want to know about this then.
I don't. But anyways, one of these days we'll have Mr. Josh Brewer, the Brewster, back.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
why do you say it that way? Why do you go, yeah?
We might. Who knows?
You have your doubts, don't you?
Oh, yes. I always do.
Well,
Yeah, he's not on the cord.
yeah, I know. I see him as offline. But
Yeah.
you had your doubts about that. I had my doubts about a TV show before I started watching it. And then I started watching it, and I got hooked on that TV show.
What
And that TV show has a lot of areas in it where the TV show is one of those where there's a lot of areas which are not black and white. There's a lot of gray in between. And I wasn't sure if I was going to enjoy it or not, just because of the fact that it's a continuation of a movie series, and I never watched the movie series. I knew what they were, but I never watched them. So the movie series, and let me know if you ever watched this, Aaron. Have you ever watched The Karate Kid? 1, 2, or 3?
I mean, I know I've seen one.
I like some of
Everyone's like seen one.
I haven't seen one.
What? How have you not seen one?
I haven't seen one, but I know like the things that you should know: wax on, wax,
Wax
off.
on, wax
I
off.
know that, but no,
Yeah.
I never watched number 1.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
But that being said, so not watching 1, 2, and 3, I was like, I'm not sure if I'll enjoy this or not, but everyone's recommending it, so I'll watch it.
Yeah.
Cobra Kai.
That's what I've been thinking about watching.
Oh, dude. 4th season released on the 31st of December. Okay. Yesterday, the 1st, I binge watched the entire season 4.
Nice.
It's one of those shows that you binge watch an entire season at a time,
Yeah.
and it flies by.
How long? Is it like half-hour episodes or?
Like 45 minutes,
Okay.
half hour, 45 minutes, depending. Some are half hour, some are 45. It depends on which one it is.
Right.
But there's 10 episodes a season, and you binge watch it, and it's just like, wait, where'd my day go?
What did you
And that was my day yesterday, the first time.
Nice.
I binge watched season 4. They've already recorded season 5, so season 5 will be coming out whenever it comes out, but they've already recorded it.
Yeah.
They're saying there'll probably be at least season 6.
Wow.
And so now that I've seen this, it's like, oh, maybe I need to go back and watch the movie so I can understand all these references that and all these characters that they keep bringing back.
Right.
Because they keep bringing back characters from the movies.
Oh, okay.
And I'm like, who is this? Who is this? Why are they mad at each other? But so you're probably a little more familiar with like the various things. So there's the Miyagi-Do. dojo with Mr. Miyagi. What did his karate focus a lot on?
Oh, dude, I couldn't tell you that.
Defense.
Oh, okay.
I love how you're like, oh, okay.
I was just trying to think of like where was like the source of.
No, not like where's the sort. That's why I
Okay.
said, what does it focus
Okay.
on?
Okay,
So
defense,
Miyagi-Do
yes.
was defense, and Cobra Kai was
offense.
right. You know,
Yeah.
their thing was strike first, strike hard, no mercy.
Bah!
Yep, exactly. And you see through the evolution of the TV series, and I'm gonna try not to do spoiler. I'm not gonna do spoilers for 4. 1 through 3, I'll try to keep as vague as possible. But honestly, if you haven't seen 1 through 3 yet, seasons 1 through 3, I'm sorry, that's on you.
That's old news.
I mean, this is how old it is. Seasons 1 and 2 came out on YouTube Red. You know, the YouTube Premium, when YouTube was making their own TV shows and that.
That was a few years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's not like it's the newest thing in the world.
I didn't even realize it was
Season-
that old.
I mean, it's
Not
not.
that it's not old.
It's
but
not
like,
old, but 2018.
Yeah, I didn't realize. I thought it was just like a thing from like this last year.
So what it was seasons 1 and 2 streamed on YouTube Red. After season 2, Netflix bought the series, and then Netflix made seasons 3, 4, 5, and obviously they're showing 1 and 2 on whatchamacallit,
The flicks.
on the Netflix, right? So
Yeah.
it's like, oh, okay, you know. So keep that in mind, you know. So you have Miyagi-Do, very defense. Cobra Kai, very offense.
Offensive.
That whole, in a way, you could think of it, that's all, you want to be allegorical and all that fun stuff. You know, that's black and white. It's two different ways of seeing the world.
Right.
You know, you have Daniel-san,
Daniel-san.
you know, Daniel LaRusso, who's very much on the, I want to always be on the defense side and everything. And you have Lawrence, who continuing on the Cobra Kai way, always on that offense. But what you see through the series and what's fun to watch is how the two of them learn from each other and they start mixing their philosophies together.
The best of both worlds.
And it comes to head in season 4. And that's why I said I'm not going to spoil it.
Okay.
But if you watch, and the reason I'm not spoiling is because it literally just came out like 2 days ago. So
Yeah, don't-
at the time of this recording. So I understand that everyone has had a chance to watch all 10 episodes. I understand that. But, you know,
It's holiday time. People got time.
yeah, he is. Most people, not everyone. Some
No,
people have to work during
some
this time.
This is true.
But he came in to do that, and you just kind of watch as everything melded. Season 3, and I don't care about spoiling this because season 3 came out a year ago. It came out December 31st last year too.
Oh, wow. So a little bit of a.
So I'm hoping though that season 5 comes out like halfway through this year since they already have it recorded.
It'll be December 31st.
Yeah, I know. But at the end of season 3, you see the two dojos, LaRusso's Miyagi-Do and Lawrence, because he got kicked out of Cobra Kai,
Okay.
and he created a new dojo called Eagle Fang.
Eagle Fang.
But he took his thoughts behind, you know, Cobra Kai, Eagle Fang, and and joined LaRusso's dojo, and they're co-teaching together. You know, again, starting to bring that blend of black and white together. But
Right.
you know, that's just in that, you know, in kind of in that wonderfulness of you watching TV, and TV shows always kind of bring out the thing of, you know, not everything can be black and white. And that had me
Yeah.
thinking, asking the question to Aaron then, can you ever, or is it ever healthy to think of things as black and white?
Is it healthy?
Yeah. Is it healthy?
I mean, there's got some things are black and white.
Okay. What, such as? You know, if you say some things are black and white, I'm going to latch onto that.
I
right
know. I know you are.
So what is
But I guess I wonder how.
what is black and white?
I mean, the colors are
I walked right into that one.
the sun and then the night sky. Without the sun in it, it's yeah.
Okay, let me rephrase that question.
No, I know. Exactly. I'm just
What
being
sort of
difficult.
societal / moral / ethical issues are just straight up black and white in
this is-
Aaron Johnson
I'm
head?
curious as to where you're gonna take this, because I was thinking murder
Okay.
is kind of a black and white thing, but
Okay.
does one classify as like going to war? Is that considered murder at that point or no?
All right. Let's go on with that.
Because I would say no. There can be murder in war,
Okay.
but if you're going into a situation where it's your life or their life, and it's like you're expected to fight for your life, that's just a fight for survival.
Right. So,
So I would say that it's different than just straight out going.
what do you define murder as?
I mean, I guess I've always thought of it as
Because there is a legal definition of
there
murder.
is a legal definition
Yeah.
of it. Oh, interesting.
That's why I want to know, what is your definition of murder? Because how that
well, I
fits
want
into
the right definition of
Well,
murder,
I know, but I want to hear what your
what my ideas of it
yeah.
at this. I mean, it's taking someone's life away out of like I don't know, taking someone's life out of I guess anger or just
Okay.
so
So
hatred towards them.
So one of the, and obviously it's going to differ per country, right? What the legal definition is, all that.
I
But
suppose,
the
yeah.
basic one here in the U.S. is to kill someone
Mhm.
unlawfully
Unlawfully
and
okay.
with premeditation.
That's okay. Gotcha. All right.
So the unlawful premeditated killing of one human being by another. So
Gotcha. Okay.
back to your question of, does that fit within war? Is that a
Right.
premeditated thing?
I mean,
No, usually not. So you're planning your mission out, right? Or
Right.
or whatever.
It's-
But you're not saying we're necessarily gonna, unless it's an assassination mission.
well, right, but that even
But
at
then-
that point, still though, like even like if you're going after this person that you're supposed to capture,
Mhm.
you know they're gonna fight you. Like you know they're gonna use lethal, I guess, force against you to ensure their safety or their escape. So it's like, I guess I can't, I would not consider
Well,
that murder.
Well, remember what it says, the unlawful.
Right.
If you're in war, would be almost considered lawful.
Lawful killing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because you've declared a war, or you're in a state of war, or whatever you need,
Right.
that's why we have stuff like the Geneva Convention, all that, where it says even if we're in war, these things are illegal.
Right.
These sort of tortures and these sort of, you can't experiment on your captured people, and that even though you could capture them because of war, because you're sending armies to fight each other, you still can't do that
There's
sort of
things
junk.
we can't do. But yeah, as soon as because I mean, you hear war stories of soldiers going through villages and raping and killing, women and children, stuff like all of that. That's messed up. That's
Right.
wrong.
Yep, and
But-
and there's stuff to prevent that as well. It's
Yeah.
unlawful to that you should not be killing innocent civilians, especially women and children. That
Right. So I don't know. No, I mean, otherwise, then I would say stealing is a black and white kind of thing.
okay, stealing, murder, okay,
Just like, I guess you could say there could almost be a good time to steal, but is it right? No.
let's take a look at all the newspaper articles. Like, around Thanksgiving, Christmas time with people just walking in stores and looting
Oh
them.
my gosh. Yeah.
Just ridiculous.
well,
Now, never mind. I'm going to say my thought for in a minute. Here on
okay.
that.
I was just saying, of course,
Go on. What else? What else would you put in this black and white category?
I guess I feel like there's probably a lot more than I can think of, but
Well, what about the one that we've talked about before? Euthanasia, not children in Asia, but
Yeah.
killing of older people
right.
or letting them kill themselves. How about suicide?
Oh yeah, I'd say that's black and white,
Okay.
right? I mean, I would think so. I think it should be. I think
Okay.
we allow there to be a gray area in that.
Okay.
Well, at least, are there any places that allow assisted suicide now?
In the U.S. or the world?
U.S. I didn't think there was anything in the U.S.
There was stuff that was trying to be passed. I'm not sure if it has.
Yeah, I thought there was stuff in the making for it, but I don't think.
Which
anything
at this
was-
point, it definitely could have passed some places. Let me double check.
Okay.
No, it is legal in some states in the U.S.
Really? Okay.
And there's one place where it's legal under a court ruling.
Huh. Okay.
So yes, that is happening more and more in the world and United
World
States
for sure.
as a whole. All right. How about, let me ask this question.
Yeah.
Is it black or white?
Uh-oh.
Like not killing, so we're removing the murder thing.
Yay.
Let's say, Johnson, you got robbed by someone, right?
Well,
and they like, as part, it wasn't just a robbing, it was a mugging. They beat you up good. And you had the opportunity to get revenge on them. Is that black and white or is that gray?
to get revenge, I would say would be. I guess what are you considering revenge on that person? Like, am I just doing him dirty and getting him back and like,
Yeah.
Okay.
Short of
What goes around comes around kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. What comes around goes around. Short of obviously killing them.
Right. Yeah. Just kind of repaying them for what they did to you.
Yeah.
I would say that's wrong.
Okay.
I guess I would consider that. Gosh, that's a tough one. Because it's like you can make that. It doesn't have to be that serious of a scenario for you to, I guess, have revenge. And like you could do, I mean, you could get as kiddish as, I pulled a prank on, or someone like pulled a prank on you and made you look like an idiot, and then you have your revenge and get back on them.
Okay.
And I guess it comes down to, I guess for that though, as far as getting revenge, are you doing it in a way to tear down somebody, or are you doing it in a way as just like fun, haha, messing around kind of thing?
Fun, haha, versus
like forking, when we used to like do that to our friends or whatever, and then they just did it to us, so now we gotta do it to them, but we gotta do it better this time, and outdo them. Like that's not harm. Well, according to the officer lady, that was potentially going to cause a lot of damage to a lawnmower because you wouldn't clean up the forks before you mowed your lawn. Whatever. But like that's not causing hurt to that. Like you're not trying to hurt that person. You're just having a fun game.
Okay.
But I guess what is revenge then? I guess because would that be considered revenge? Just not a.
That's the question,
right?
To you,
and that because again, like if it's revenge in a form where it's not out to cause damage or hurt towards someone, okay, if it's like a game or you're having fun, that's fine. But I guess if you're having revenge, getting revenge in a way where like you hurt me, so I'm hurting you back, that I would say is wrong. And instead of like, you don't have to get revenge for someone on somebody. If they did, like, if I got mugged and if I were to turn them in, they're gonna get dealt with in a legal manner. I would say, because I wouldn't say that's right of me to.
Okay, let me ask you this: you turn them in because you just said a phrase. You turn them in; they got dealt with in a legal manner.
Yeah.
What if that legal manner results in their death?
For getting mugged? I would hope not.
Well, what if you were working for a U.S. company in China? Okay.
Okay.
You caught an employee stealing. You turned them into the authorities as per company policy.
Yeah.
As per Chinese policy, they were then executed.
If that's a legit policy, that's horrible.
That actually has happened.
Then I would not turn them in.
So you're fine with them stealing.
I would much rather have them steal from me than get killed.
Okay.
But now, if someone's in the act of stealing from me, it wouldn't be wrong for me to use force on them to stop them from stealing from me, because that's just defending my own business or whatever it is of mine. Like that's, but see, now that's an American thing, as far as I'm concerned. Because in some places now in Europe, if you're getting like robbed, you're just supposed to let them do it. Take it.
Yep.
Let them take your stuff away. Don't defend yourself, because then you'll just deal with it later through authorities. But if there's a thing for them to get killed because they stole something from you, what the heck is up with that? Then you might as well just let stealing be legal. I wouldn't want to kill somebody for taking something of mine. This is stupid.
I love how you like totally like you totally lost it. Here's what you totally lost yourself. Here's why. Earlier, and this is I was writing down stuff that you were saying.
Yeah.
I asked you for black and white things.
Yeah.
You said stealing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's right and wrong for that.
There's right and wrong.
Yes.
So there is a right and wrong.
Yeah.
But does that right and wrong then? Because if it's black and white, right? You're taking action based on if it's right or wrong.
Yes.
You're following company policy saying you did the wrong thing. This is the punishment described to you.
Yeah, I mean, if you report it like that, yeah.
So,
I guess,
but if you're not reporting it, you're saying that stealing is okay.
I wouldn't say that's saying it's okay.
Why not?
Huh?
You're letting it not be punished.
Right. But, well, I guess one thing I guess I think of, and as far as like this is the whole getting revenge thing,
Yeah.
or like I guess because that's just a means to justify the outcome kind of thing in your mind. I guess I think of that as I guess okay, this would be in my current understanding and from like a biblical perspective. At some point there will be justice done.
Right.
It's just not going to be under your authority.
Yes.
So, in that form, like with that mindset for me is, if someone were to mug me and just take off whatever, I'm not going to necessarily pursue getting them in trouble, I guess. Because someday they're going to deal with that regardless.
Yep. So someday they're going to deal with that regardless. Okay.
But so like, I mean, just because I don't correct someone from stealing, I still think it's wrong.
But if you think it's wrong, shouldn't you take action on it?
I guess you could. I don't know. Do you take wrong action on anything that you think is wrong, though?
Well, shouldn't you? But you should, in essence. Yes, you're not going to be the final necessarily arbiter of justice.
No.
But
no.
if you know something is wrong,
You should, I guess. But then,
Does-
is there only one way for you to go about doing that then? Like, do you have to report that to authorities? Like,
Well, because look at it this way.
Mhm.
In a lot of companies, right? Let's go back to the stealing example.
Yeah.
Aaron Johnson, you're a manager at a company, and then you're live in the U.S., but you're visiting China right now because you're touring their plant. Okay,
Right.
you see one of your employees
Yeah.
steal something.
Right.
You know that it is company policy that either you report it, or if it's
Right.
discovered later, you will be personally responsible and hand it over to the authorities.
Oof, that's rough.
What do you do at that point?
So I'll take the bullet. That's fine.
So you'll be fired, blackballed from the industry, and no longer able to find a job anywhere near what you were doing.
Sorry, I can go find a job somewhere else. That's whatever. You just do with what you got. What you make. What I don't even know the saying anymore.
Okay, so that's what you would do. You would take the bullet for them, huh?
I don't know. Well, that's the thing. I wouldn't, because then you can get into you. Are you technically lying for that person and covering up for them?
Yep.
Yes, I would. So I wouldn't lie about it.
Okay.
But
So
but if that gets somebody killed, that's ridiculous. That just makes me mad.
okay, so that's just a simple stealing.
But-
That's just a simple stealing thing, right? What if
I
you
guess I would turn them in.
you would turn them in? Okay, that turned around
Knowing-
quickly.
If they know the consequences for their actions and they're still gonna make that choice, that's on them.
Mhm.
Stealing's wrong. So I guess yeah.
Okay, now we're gonna change this a little bit.
Great. I
You're
hate this game.
You're still the manager.
Yeah.
It's not one of your best friends that stole. While you're like you became real good friends with them and their family over in China, and you catch them stealing.
Man, truth hurts, my guy.
Same thing happens here, where either you report them, or if it's discovered and it's discovered you're covering for them, then
'Cause-
you're turned over instead.
if it comes down to it where it's like I'm being blamed for what happened,
Uh-huh.
and that's not the truth,
It's not that you're blamed for it. It's
I'm about to take the punishment
it's,
for it.
You're going to take the punishment because you knew about it and you covered it up.
Oh well, that's assuming I covered it up. Okay, I was thinking
not turning it in, not
Right.
reporting it
That's
is
if I-
covering it up,
yes,
falsifying
I get that.
information.
See, but then I would be lying from that point right there.
Yep.
So but the thing is, I wouldn't even want to lie about it then.
So nothing changes because you know them and have a personal connection to
See,
their
that
family.
really hurts.
Yes, it does.
Gosh, dang it! But you made the choice, my guy. No. See, in a perfect world, I would be begging whoever it is that's above me that makes that decision and have them taken off and dealt with. I would be begging for mercy on that man's behalf. See, I guess this is the thing too. Like I don't know why this is and like where this came from, but it's like if if someone that I knew was on like death row or whatever, and I guess this is where it always, if it comes to like biblical stuff, it's like if they didn't believe, if they weren't saved, and me believing I am, and if I was given the chance to replace them in that moment, I feel like I'd want to take that thing, or I would want to take that upon myself and let them go, kind of thing. Because I would much rather have them have more of a chance to live and hopefully become a Christian. And I'd just rather die. My mind is a mess, Paul.
Obviously, because all I asked was, What if you knew the person and were
No, I know that's what I'm saying. Like if I had a strong connection with that person, I mean, I'm not gonna. Man, I wouldn't want to lie to my employer, especially if that friend of mine is doing something wrong, and knowing the consequences are death. That would be, oh, that's got to be a super serious thing that they're taking. My gosh.
They took a pack of gum.
Oh my, at that point I would slap my boss and hope they kill me then too. Jeez.
Okay.
Because that would be.
It just happens to be law.
But is that actually law somewhere?
So, yes.
Like if that's law somewhere, that needs to be changed.
China implements such harsh consequences to encourage a pre-conventional level of morality. This would suggest that even those with the most basic moral reasoning would be motivated to follow the law and avoid such harsh punishments. However, it is likely that an American manager would not see death as a fitting punishment for theft.
Right.
This presents a cultural dilemma, which obviously here.
Clearly it.
And that's why they have these questions like, okay, this is how you would answer this way, right? Now, what if this was a personal friend? How would that change your answer? It's like, yeah. Because then all of a sudden.
Get on the first ticket to the Americas.
But here's the thing. What if you didn't know that was going to get them killed by turning them in? You're thinking like maybe it'd be just like America
Right.
where you get your first write-up. And then you're don't do that again.
How do you?
So that all of a sudden, Johnson, you had a bunch of gray areas come in. You had a bunch of gray areas on lying, on on theft.
I wouldn't. Is it gray area or is it me just trying to do something?
Well, if you believe something's black or white, right?
Right.
You believe something's right or wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So lying, don't do it.
Yeah.
Black and white.
Yeah.
Lying, gray area. Well, it's to keep them alive.
So is that's what makes it the gray area?
Yeah. All of a sudden, you're breaking from that black and white moral definition. Like,
I guess. Because I could also just consider what I'm doing still wrong,
yeah,
which would still be black and white. I'm just making the choice to do that. And I'm justifying that by, I'm saving someone's life by doing this.
exactly.
Now, that would be according to like law here or there.
Well, the
But
death for stealing is per their law,
Yes.
but that doesn't change the
No.
moral. That doesn't change the moral black and whiteness of lying, does it?
Well, I'm
does-
wondering where.
does-
I guess we're.
So the question ultimately comes down to: does the situation define morality, or morality stay the same regardless of situation?
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Is it fine to lie in some situations,
Right.
or is it never fine to lie?
So now I'm trying to think of I'm trying to go back and think of like what, and if this were a moment in the Bible, what would be the right thing to do?
And this
Because
is
there
what-
was cover up. There's things that were done in the Bible that were like cover ups, weren't there?
trying to think of an example.
Where not like someone was misled in order to have something happen that was
Yeah.
for the
Like, so one of the ones I'm thinking of was like Moses and Aaron. No, not Moses and Aaron. There might have been one there too, but who was it? It was Abraham, where he said it was his wife or his sister, not his wife.
that.
When they went to certain lands,
Oh, right.
and so it didn't say like it was a righteous thing to do. It's just like this is what he did.
This is what he did.
You
But
know,
what? 'cause
Ultimately, he ends up like all men, being men, fallible, can mess up.
Right.
we do have examples in the Bible of men, even, people, I shouldn't say just men, people, men and women, that may have, for the time to kind of save their own skin,
Right.
done stuff. But then we get to the New Testament and we look at who our ultimate example is to be.
Right.
And did Christ, did Jesus ever lie or fib or change anything to make it better for him
For him?
or for anything? Him or his disciples?
Gosh, I don't know.
Point
Because
me,
I was even thinking about.
point me one example where he does, and I'll buy you
Alright.
wings tonight.
You'll buy me wings?
If you can point me to one example
Where he.
where Christ, Jesus,
Right.
lied/fibbed to either make his life easier to his disciples,
Right.
or someone that he knew, even his mother's.
Yeah, I would probably say no. If he was supposed to be perfect, then I would.
Well, he wasn't just perfect; he was sinless.
Well, yeah. that being-
I know, but I'm
True.
I'm being slightly
True.
pedantic here for a reason at this point,
Right.
because one of the words that keeps coming back up
Mhm.
over and over again, especially after these last couple of weeks in Goldstein,
Oh,
is
boy.
integrity.
Right.
And that's when you're doing the right thing, telling the truth,
Right.
not lying,
Even.
even when it's inconvenient to you.
Right.
And what even sucks even more, even if you know what's going to happen, it's inconvenient to you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So, yes, you probably will find examples in the Bible
Yeah.
of people, humans,
Oh, for sure.
lying when they shouldn't have. And some will be called out and punished. Not all will,
Right.
or were. Not will, were.
Mm.
So that's why I ask you, is it okay to lie in one situation and not the other? Is it okay?
Man, I'm glad grace is a thing.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Okay. And this sounds hypothetical,
Right.
but remember back in World War II,
Okay.
where people would hide Jews in the attic or the
Right.
basements.
See, that's where. But that's where I'm
Would-
like,
is-
does someone's life, like if it's life or death, I can't imagine that being wrong to hide them. If it's a matter of actually saving someone's life,
Bring your evidence.
I know,
Bring your argument.
I know.
What's your argument for that?
That's just obnoxious.
Just obnoxious.
No,
That's not an argument.
No, it's not. Well, I mean,
It could be, but that's not an argument.
But it's
Okay, I'm going to let you ponder that for a second, okay? Another one that you said black or white.
yeah,
Stealing.
yeah,
There are some countries if you steal, I hope most countries don't do this nowadays, but it used to be that, you would steal and you get your hand chopped off.
Ugh.
Prevent you from stealing again. Also, B, deters others from trying to steal, right?
right. It sends a message.
Now, let me ask this. Is there a difference between stealing, like you go and just loot a store and be like, oh, this is my new TV and my new Xbox and my new whatever, versus I need a loaf of bread to feed my family?
Right. Literally, for survival, you need something to eat. I mean, you could eat a lot of things. You
Does
don't have
that-
to have a loaf of bread?
Oh, okay, so you're going to eat bugs?
I mean, desperate times call for desperate measures.
But does that
But
change?
thankfully, I
Does
don't
that
do
change that from black and white to gray then?
I guess. I mean, you don't have to steal though.
What if you have no money, no job?
Right.
You got hungry kids at home. You
Yeah.
need to give them something.
Yeah. I would start asking a lot. I guess that's assuming stealing is the last resort, though. Or the only option. Because there's more options than having to steal something.
What about a person
Yeah.
known for a strong commitment to ethical principles? As a coach and philanthropist, they just demonstrated the ability to put others first, They challenged many young fellows to operate according to a higher standard of morals and values, and yet they were cheating all the time in their sport.
Cheating was wrong.
And you knew about it. Would you say anything?
Hold up. You're going to have to run that by me again.
He was cheating and, well, okay.
So they're cheating for a purpose of what?
Well, they were cheating, just whatever.
Yeah.
Also, they were involved with, and like you were a staff member on the team, right? Aaron Johnson, you're a coach.
Wow.
Congratulations. And you know about this person, and he's always preaching about morals and standards and all this, but in the background, he's, paying off refs or something.
Oh, that's awful.
And you know about it, but it's getting results.
I would turn that sucker in.
You turn them in. Interesting.
It's getting results for what?
For the team. They're winning. The coaching staff is making money because the school's making money.
Right. But, I mean, I feel like that would be an easier one to say, hey, that's not right.
Would you turn them in?
I guess I'd give him a chance, and I would confront him about it.
Okay. And what if he says, whatever, it's working?
Well, okay, sorry.
Okay. Then you'll turn him in?
Yeah.
Or if they
I would give him a chance to correct, or give him a chance to attempt to correct what he was doing.
Okay.
Or right what he was doing wrong. But if he just blatantly was like, I'm going to keep doing this just because it's...
And what if they were a childhood friend?
Sorry, dude.
Okay. Interesting. Because that situation is a lot less severe than what actually did happen in the U.S. Only a few years ago. It wasn't that long ago. But what happened, it wasn't cheating. It was a lot worse.
Oh, okay. Whew.
Yeah,
severe ones definitely depending on how it is, can make things a lot more tricky. Which then allows corruption.
But most of the people knew about it. You're familiar with Joe Paterno, right?
Negative.
Oh,
At least not from just hearing the name.
Coach at Penn State.
What did he do?
The child sex abuse scandal at Penn State.
What?
Yep.
The child sex abuse scandal.
Yeah.
What? Where's Penn State?
Pennsylvania.
Yeah. What? What happened?
So, in 2011.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, I know. Jerry Sandusky was arrested on 52 counts of child sexual abuse occurring between 1994 and 2009, including allegations of incidents on the Penn State campus. During the investigation, it was found out that Paterno had witnessed one such thing, but never really pushed it all the way through. He reported it, right? But even then, he
didn't follow up with it.
Yep.
He just made mention. Just let it slide.
Like I said, he at least reported it, but he didn't notify police or anything like that. He just told someone else at the school.
Wouldn't it be the job, I guess, depending on whoever it was he told at the school, wouldn't they be liable to tell authorities, depending on who you would tell?
Well, that's part of the whole, thing.
Right.
He's going around saying, hey, you need to be upright, you need to be moral, you need to be doing all this stuff.
Yeah.
And then it comes out, oh no, he knew about it and he didn't follow through on reporting it. He didn't continue under. But yeah, because under state law at that time, they didn't have to report to police, just his immediate supervisor.
Okay. Because, yeah, I mean, I would have talked about it. And then if nothing changed after bringing it up, I mean, I would definitely, especially something for like that,
Yeah. So
I would be making sure somebody's finding out about this.
Yeah,
and
so-
it's being dealt with.
So Paterno himself didn't do anything wrong. So don't think like when I say anything wrong, like he wasn't the one playing with kids.
Right.
It was another coach, Sandusky, that was doing it. But because of what Sandusky did, Paterno and that got caught up with it, and then that whole, literally his entire legacy, right before he died, because this all happened like
went
within a year before he died, it just all
to crap. Yeah.
disappeared because
Because I mean, at
he
that
didn't-
point,
he-
you're almost, or you're basically just an accomplice to it. If you're allowing it to happen.
like I said, he followed what he had to do legally, but he didn't go beyond to report to police and that. And to be fair, everyone involved in that incident was just as culpable because it went up to like the vice president.
Wow.
So it went up a ways.
Jeez Louise. Yeah. No, I would make that sucker pay. No.
So I mean, you know, this was a guy who's like always like, oh, we got to have these ethics, we got to be above this, and yet he failed to blow the whistle on it, and that is now how he's kind of known, unfortunately.
Right. Yeah.
So that's why it's like, hey,
That's on you, bud.
yeah, and that's why I found it interesting that you're like, no, I'd still turn him in that, and you know, this is a guy who espoused all these things, and when push came to shove, he didn't push it hard enough. And he
Right.
said, no, that's okay. But yeah, that whole thing rocked. I remember that rocking the world for a while there
Oh,
when
I'm
that
sure.
first came out.
I can imagine. I guess that's the thing is it's finding that fine line of what punishment should be for certain things that are done that are wrong. Because yeah, obviously different places have obviously have different laws about it. Clearly, I'm trying to think. What do you have to? Because even like the states here, some allow death penalties, some don't.
Yeah.
So even just like the laws within states themselves have different laws for or different consequences for certain crimes. Like I wonder what it takes for someone to receive the death penalty. Or I guess what would be what state has the easiest chance of someone receiving the death penalty? Because now I don't even like the death penalty, but
All right, why not? I
Yeah,
think we talked about
yeah,
this.
we
but
have talked about it. It might have been off. I don't know. Maybe it was. I don't know. I don't care. I guess maybe I still kind of go almost back and forth about it. I'm just a very undecided person. I guess I just always like to have some sort of hope of someone having, or I'd like there to always be a chance of hope for whoever the individual is to, I guess, receive forgiveness for what they've done and get that. Instead of just giving someone the death penalty and saying, well, you're done. That's it. And then there's no chance whatsoever. But I guess the thing I wonder we'll say at the same time is, I mean, if someone's out doing that and making those decisions, I mean, I guess they are, subject to the consequences of whoever it is that's in charge to give them. So it's like,
So there's very narrow parameters on when death penalties can be given.
it's very narrow.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
So you can't just be like, hey, Aaron, you stole my pencil.
Well,
Death
no,
penalty.
yeah,
Okay.
no. It's
So
I figured you at least have to take a life.
yes,
That's-
that is how narrow it is.
Yeah. Okay.
So capital offenses is kind of like what is the standard for it, for a death penalty. Okay. Capital offenses includes crimes against individuals and crimes against the state or government. For crimes against individuals, capital punishment is restricted to offenses resulting in a victim's death.
Okay.
So, whereas murderers can receive the death penalty, rapists who don't kill their victims cannot.
But what about the whole? I mean, because there can also be some very outrageous, sentences given as to like. Now it was an accident, but I'm thinking about that truck driver that killed a few people in an accident.
Yeah,
He was sentenced to 110 years in prison. That's a life sentence.
That's life in prison. It's not a death sentence. And that's where they kind of draw a weird line.
Yeah.
Because some life sentences, you're eligible for parole after a certain time.
Right.
I don't know what that truck driver's parole was. I do know a lot of people were up in arms over the length of the sentence for what happened. Well, and there's a lot of people signing petitions and petitioning the government and that to reduce the penalty.
What happened?
Yeah, as I say,
he got 10 years. But then I was hearing some, and I'd have to look into it for myself. This is just word of mouth to me hearing, but like some people are saying that were truck drivers were saying that that's at least what he should get. Or because like he should have just done, pretty much what he should have done was avoid hitting them and drive off the road and most likely end up just killing himself. Which, that's a great thing to think about, wanting to potentially get my CDL. Man, my coworkers even brought that up to me, like, so are you going to drive and because you're not supposed to hit the brakes to avoid an accident.
Oh, this person couldn't even hit the brakes.
Oh, yeah, I don't know what his situation was.
No, he had brake failure.
That's right, he had the brake failure. That's right. But like for me, if I were to try and avoid an accident, like if I have the chance to avoid the accident and knowing that my brakes work or whatever, which he probably thought I don't know.
Well, what if that brings it up, okay, brake failure and he killed the people, right? Yeah. But what if he didn't know that he was having a brake failure until when he went to go put on the brakes?
Well, and that's what I'm wondering if that's what the case was.
Then that brings up the wonderful trolley conundrum. Your brakes are failing. You have two cars in front of you, two cars to the right, and two cars to the left. Which ones do you crash into? He goes to hit his brakes, right? Because he's one to slow down.
Oh, yeah.
But all of a sudden, brakes stop working. It is a split-second decision.
Yeah, what do you do?
You have two cars ahead of you to the right, to the left. What do you do?
Yeah.
Who do you kill?
Right. That's...
It's the same. It's almost the same as the trolley problem.
Yeah.
Do you know what that one is?
Well, I guess I'm wondering if I'm thinking of, I remember there was a scenario when I think I was in 5th grade. I think it was when I was in 5th. But this guy had to make the decision. Like they were all, he pretty much, he was like, he operated the bridge.
Okay.
A bridge for this train to go past or whatever. And I guess the bridge was up or something to that effect. And he was with his family. They're eating, I guess, on this bridge. I don't know. It was weird.
Okay, so
there's a train coming.
Yeah.
And the thing was, his kid got stuck in a gear for the bridge. And it's like, well, in this moment, you either make the decision, you close that bridge for that train coming through.
Killing your kid.
Killing the kid.
Or you kill all the people on the train.
Or you take that risk of, people are going to die on the train regardless. But yeah, so it's like, whose life do you take in that instance? And I know, like, I remember when we were being told this happened, like he was saying the dad couldn't get out what decision he made, but
yeah, so it's similar to the trolley problem.
Oh, this is just giving me the
biggest
chills.
Johnson.
Yeah.
It's a lovely day out.
That's
You decide to go for a walk along the trolley tracks that crisscross your town.
yeah.
As you walk, you hear a trolley behind you, and you step away from the tracks.
Uh,
But as the trolley gets closer, you hear the sound of panic.
oh no.
The 5 people on board are shouting for help. The trolley's brakes have gone out, and it's gathering speed. You find you just happen to be standing next to a side track that veers into a sand pit, potentially providing safety for the trolley's 5 passengers. All you have to do is pull a hand lever to switch the tracks, and you save the 5 people.
But
Sounds easy,
you
but there's a problem. Along this offshoot of track leading to the sand pit stands a man who is totally unaware of the trolley's problem and the action you're considering. There's no time to warn him, so by pulling the lever and guiding the trolley to safety, you'll save 5 passengers, but you'll kill the man. What do you do?
Oh no.
Now, this takes a little different tone because you have no familial relations to any of these. These are 6 complete strangers. Do you save the one to kill the 5? Do you save 1 and kill 5, or save 5 and kill 1?
Well, that's assuming there's only 5 people on that trolley.
So, what's the morally correct thing to do?
Dang, nabbit. What's that guy doing in the way of the sand pit? No.
He's just walking. Okay, here's a different version of this. You're still walking. Trolley's out of control, coming down the tracks. There's no side pit. There's no sand pit. There's no side track. It's picking up speed, but it's not crazy fast yet, right?
Yeah.
However, there is a guy in front of you that's real close to you. He's within arm's reach, and you have a feeling that if you swung him into the train, it would stop the train, but kill him.
Oh, no. I like the first one more.
Why?
Why?
You're passively killing or actively killing?
I mean, both. I feel like, well, the one is just in hopes of stopping the train more.
Okay.
But the other one, it's like, the train's going to be okay.
The train's going to be okay. The people might not.
The people still might not be all right, but... So wait, well... Well, people might get hurt, yes. From if you're moving and you come to an abrupt stop, people are going to get hurt. What are they going to crash into? If I don't
brick
pull
wall.
the lever? Oh, jeez. I mean, if the train's strong, it'll at least break through the brick wall, which I'm sure it's got to be.
It's a thick brick wall. It'll like pancake as it hits, and they'll all turn to mush.
Oh my gosh! If they were to all turn to mush like that, I'd probably hit the lever.
Kill the man. Okay. Now, would you same sort of thing, mush? But if you throw that man into the path, you're
They'll
gonna
stop.
Yeah.
Well, at that point, that's if I'm throwing the man, that's suggesting I'm close enough to where I could get in the way myself.
But you're not in this scenario. You're not large enough to stop it
I'm not. How do I know that?
because this guy's bigger than you.
Well, then I ain't moving the man. I probably won't be strong enough to move the man.
It's the mom effect, the mom adrenaline.
No, it's,
You've seen that.
then I'm gonna run into that train so hard that I'm just gonna slow it down. I'm gonna believe in myself so much, and then my mushy body will get gunky in the wheels of the train and slow it down because it'll cause friction. I hate this.
But so, we say murder is one of those black and white, but is murder of 1 to save 5 justified? Is that justified, and does that make it more gray? Because then you're saying murder is okay when the outcome is to save
Saving
other
more
lives.
people. Oh boy, what would you even do? Man, that's just a tragic situation.
It is, and the reason it was written, This was originally proposed in a paper called The Problem of Abortion and the Doctrine of the Double Effect by Philippa Foot, Oxford Review, number 5, 1967. So this isn't something that's new. It's been around for a while, and it talks about, hey, why does, because for me personally, I don't know about you, the thought of swinging a person into the trolley seems a lot worse than me pulling a lever and the trolley running into the guy.
Yes.
Because one, I'm actively involved in the splattering of the man across the trolley.
Well, I'd say you're still involved in that happening both ways.
But the other one is, I'm pulling the lever. If I didn't see he was there, he would die regardless.
Right. Yeah. And the next one is
I'm intentionally.
You look like you can stop this.
I'm intentionally putting him in harm's way.
Yes. Yeah. No, that's where it's like, if for the second scenario, I would just be like, that's me thinking I could stop a train. I'd probably just do nothing at that point. Sorry, train. If there's no thing for it to safely be slowed down, pick the wrong train ride today. Yeah, I guess I wouldn't throw a man in front of a train hoping to slow it down. Gosh. Just hate to see it happen. But yeah, because in that second one, there was no, you're the option of slowing it down and saving the people was just throwing the man in front. There was no other, way to stop this thing. You know what I would do? If I happen to have him on me.
Yeah.
Which I've never had him, so I would never have had him on me. But if I had one of those silly string, web slinger things, I would hop in front and try and be Spider-Man and,
Yeah, but without the Spider-Man strength and body structure, you would be painting the thing.
I'd be I'd be a new piece of art. Be mush.
Yep.
Thank you for joining us for part 1 of Living in the Gray. Can you really do that or not? Me and Aaron continue this conversation next week, where we continue talking about this concept of living in the gray, and can you really do that, and what does that look like when you do? And I'll be honest, I'll kind of spoil it a little bit. My answer is we kind of need to get used to it. So let's continue that conversation next week, and thank you for joining us this week on Use Your Words.